This is going to be a fast video on how I make my flat parachutes without sewing and how to tie on the shroud lines. So the first thing you want to do is cut out your material to the right shape, and this one happens to be a 34-inch octagon chute, and I cut it out using a soldering iron. And just running it along the edges, it cuts pretty good. I don't know if this is warm enough yet. I don't know if it's warming up. It's still warming up. And what that does is it leaves a little melt line on here. And if I look for my other pieces, this one was cut with scissors. And if I just go back and forth on this, you can see how it frays out really quickly. But if I take the one that I just did, melted, it does not fray. So once you get your material cut to the square size, there's a video, not by me, by somebody else, that talks about how to fold your material in half, how to measure these lines to come up with this one cut. That gives you the right shape. It's pretty good. So this piece has already been cut out. I have all my marks. On this 34-inch chute, I've gone up about 1.25 inches is where my line's going to get tied on. For lines, I'm just using some of this stuff I get online. I'll put the link on the web page. It comes in a couple of different sizes. We're going to use the smaller of the two sizes. And then the shroud line lengths for this 34-inch chute happen to be about 64 inches. And what I do is I take my measurement of my chute, the flat measurement here, which is 34 inches. I multiply that point by 0.89, and that comes up with my shroud line length. I double that so that I have a continuous loop on 2 of them at a time. And so there's 4 of those here. And then to start the process, you can see that I have knots tied in the end. And those knots are going to be used as stopper knots. So then what we're using to tie it in is a fishing braid line. This happens to be 40-pound test. I use a fly fishing bobbin that makes putting the line on much easier, and we'll show that here in a little bit. So, and then to cut the braid lines, you need some pretty good scissors to cut it cleanly, and some super glue, wherever that is. Alright, we're going to take the shock cord or shroud line that's got a knot tied in it. We've put a little bit of super glue on the knot so that it doesn't come out. We're going to use our fishing line to tie it in to the chute where those lines are. So first thing I'm going to do is lay it in here. I'm going to take a couple of drops of the glue. Put it on there. Hold it in place. Fold it over. This thumb is right on that knot right now. I'm going to take this line, pull some out, wrap it around real tight back on itself. I can pull out about 3 inches, and then I'm going to take and spin this around. And as I spin it, I'm walking it down towards the end. Once I get about 1/4 of an inch from the end, I can take this and fold it back on itself, I think. And that's going to kind of lock it in place once I start going back over it. Then I'm going to go all the way back up to where the knot is underneath here. Once I hit that knot, I'm going to pull out some extra and tie this off. Put a little drop of glue on here for now. I want to keep the glue off the parachute though. Cut these lines. Find that tag in, cut it. Then I'll go find the other end, find the other end, find my next mark, hold it in place, a couple drops of glue on there. My thumb is on the knot. Get this readjusted. Pull these really hard. I'm going to pull about 3 inches, and then I'm going to spiral it on. Once I get to about 1/4 of an inch left, I'll pull this back on itself. Put a drop of glue on there. And then wind it all the way up to where the knot is. Once I get to the knot, put 3 of them in. Put a little glue on this to hold the knots in place. Gonna roll it just to soak up some of that glue into my fingers. I'll show you how to take the glue off my fingers when I'm all done. So that's 2 of the connections out of 8. Okay, here's the chute all done. Took about 40 minutes to do all 8 of these, if not sooner. I'll try and get a picture of it inflated. Pretty quick, pretty easy, pretty cheap to make. You're kind of limited to the width of the ripstop that you use. I've done it up to 80-inch wide ripstop. This is 3/4 ounce. There was some on eBay and Amazon, and it was like 30 yards for 30 bucks or something. It was pretty cheap. It's all gone now. But I used single chutes in my 3-inch rocket and multiple chutes in my 98 millimeter minimum diameter rockets. So that's it. I said I was going to show you how to get the super glue off your hands. So 60 grit, 50 grit sandpaper. You can rub banks and stuff after this. Don't have sandpaper like this, you can rub them on cement, but it comes off pretty quick. That's all.